Mushoku Tensei is a really an amazing show. Notice how I said show and not an isekai. This anime, someone managed to give me adventure, hope, joy, cringe, and despair in a single fucking episode. Where most shows spend over 50 episodes to make me feel absolutely nothing. And now that we're in the second season of Mushoku Tensei, I'm feeling that way now more than ever. If you are watching this video, you probably are caught up with the first season and know what is currently going on right now. Dead End finally reaches their destination after almost facing death by Orsted. Like the dude pulls up out of nowhere, beats up two of the most strongest people near death, straight up kills our main character, and before leaving, brings him back to life and does not explain anything. But after that incident, things just go spiraling down for Rudy. His home is gone. He thinks the reason Eris left him was his fault, and just when he was about to fall back to his old habits, he remembers he has not found his mom yet, where he finally manages to move past his old ways, even if it is temporarily. And that's exactly where we start season 2, which is Rudius being at his lowest. If this was any other anime, like any other show, they would have wrapped that shit up in a single episode. Hell, they wouldn't have even bothered to show this little mini arc. But we do see it, and it is executed masterfully. After Eris leaves Rudy, our boy thinks all of it is his fault. He still thinks he's the same loser from his previous life, where no one cares for him, no one loves him, and eventually they will all just get sick of him and leave him behind just like his siblings. His depression was so apparent that you can practically hear what he was thinking, or just take one look at his face and understand that this man was going through it. He would sigh constantly, almost have a breakdown when he was taking on job without his OG party, and get a panic attack when something reminded him of Eris. It was as if he had forgotten what was life before any of this happened, but eventually a group of people helped him to get out of that lonely pit. Seeing this group reminded him why he fought this hard to get back from the demon continent. Why did he cling to life so hard? Why was he so thankful to get this second chance and worked hard to not waste it? I know this sounds emo as hell, but give my boy a break, okay? He's at the age where he wants to listen Linkin Park, and just when he's starting to vibe with these people, thinking maybe he's ready to move on, but things go south real fast, where one disaster leads to another, which eventually causes a chain reaction that blows up into a nuclear one, where things go sour really quickly with Rudius, and we all go back to square one once again, which takes us to the high school arc, where our boy's whole existence turns upside down almost every single episode. And yes, I would very much like to talk about every single episode, but I just cannot, or this video will be an hour long. Yet still, I want to talk about two important things Rudius is faced with. The first one is meeting Nanahoshi. Episode 10 was one of the best episodes I've seen ever. Hell, I was surprised that this episode was not called Turning Point, because sure as hell it felt like one. The reveal of Nanahoshi being the girl he was trying to save from episode 1 was jaw-dropping to begin with, but also finding out she was isekai'd and not reincarnated just like Rudy was something no one saw coming. But what I really loved about that thing is not the play on reincarnation and isekai, but the consequences to those actions. Like Nanahoshi getting isekai'd here most likely caused the mana disaster is a huge deal, and not just that, but if she or Rudy make world-altering changes, the world itself could possibly erase them. If not, both of them could cause something unprecedented, which might not be a big deal to them, but consequential for rest of the world. And it kind of makes sense now why Orsted, the man who can see future, past and present, would want to get rid of him. Because Rudy's existence itself causes the world of Mushoku Tensei to change in an unprecedented way. But two other things which were showcased masterfully in episode 10 was Rudy's PTSD and Sylphie's rage. The PTSD scene was executed so well. The build-up to when Rudy saw her face was so nonchalant yet somewhat eerie. The music slowly fades away as Rudy climbs up the stairs, but all of it completely goes silent when he opens up the door and sees Nanahoshi. And as soon as the book falls down, we cut to Rudy screaming and running, which was sudden yet expected from him. I mean, if I see someone who almost killed me by putting a hole in my chest, I would also react like that. But at the same time, when we are seeing all of this unfold, there is another scene which was building up for almost entirety of the episode, yet we fail to notice it and it catches us completely off guard. And that was Sylphie's rage. we were so focused on the things which were getting revealed and the implication of those things towards Rudy. So we kind of got blindsided on how that affected Sylphie and rest of the world. From the very start of the episode, Sylphie was feeling insecure and jealous, but all those things were pushed to its limit when Rudy and nanahoshi were kind of ignoring her and talking in a different language. But the culmination of all those feelings were turned into rage when nanahoshi said she was the cause of Mana disaster, because in that disaster she lost everything. Her parents died, her homeland was destroyed, she lost contact with her best friend and his family. Moreover, she had to cast aside her name and identity and take a new one just so she could survive. And all those hardships and losses she had to endure came bursting out when nanahoshi said that. Hell, even nanahoshi knew what was coming. That's why she put on those rings. Sylphie's voice actor is so good. All that rage and pain is clearly visible in that voice. It made me almost tear up a bit. The second thing Rudy is facing is probably the most important thing, which is...
It just seems kind of gay, doesn't it?
I don't know, maybe, yeah.
Well, do you think you're part of some, like, gay beat-up underworld? Like one of those gay beat-up clubs or something?
I don't know, I dig chicks, man. I don't remember any of it, I was so fucked up. I might be gay, I don't know.
This whole overarching plot is honestly fucking hilarious. The way he goes on and on about fits and asking questions to himself, like...
耳の裏をポリポリと書く動作とか、一仕事を終えた時のぐっと背伸びする動作とか、ふと目の前を通った時に香ってくる匂いとか、そう、あの笑顔だ。あのはにかんだ笑顔がどうにも頭に残る。
But then snaps out of it and says, I'm sure I don't swing that way, is peak comedy, and it does not help that Rudy is now suffering with ED, and him linking the cause of that to his attraction to Fitz is pure gold. Honestly, I don't know why, but every week when I was tuning in, I was hoping that we progress this plot further. Even though season 2 feels kind of laid back compared to season 1 part 2, I really like it. Actually, the current season feels more akin to the first part of season 1, where we are experiencing this quiet life with Rudius. It feels as if we are setting up things and giving character development before all of it goes to shit. And the main reason I'm loving this season so much is because we are kind of seeing Rudius grow as a person. And it's not like we have not seen Rudy grow before, but it feels like this is the first time where Rudy is completely by himself and has to start building from zero, from his self-confidence to his relationships with people, just so all of it goes to shit once again at the turning point. And I for one am not ready to see that. I really do hope the anime completely adapts Mushoku Tensei faithfully and with the same quality, because it is an amazing story. And please, I beg you, do not break my heart at the next turning point, because from what I have heard that this arc is happy-go-lucky before things go off the rails real fast. And even though every time I think I'm ready for this one, I'm really ready for this turning point, but no amount of lube in the world prepares my anus for the pure unadulterated fuckery that happens at the turning point. Every single time I say nah, this time I'm not going to be shocked. I'm ready. And no bitch, just to prove myself otherwise. By the end of every single turning point, my jaw has dropped down so hard that I have to physically pick it back up. But no matter how good the turning point is, I never have once felt while watching Mushoku Tensei like there is nothing going on. Every single episode of the show feels like 10 minutes. Every single time the ending starts playing, I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't I just start the episode? I just pressed play. The show is fucking amazing, and the ones who are watching it know that Mushoku Tensei is a masterpiece in the making.